Hey, this is Group U2 doing Chapter 5 lab. For question 1, you're asked to calculate the change in social surplus if the government were to increase the toll on a highway from 40 cents to 50 cents. So we did that by first calculating the social surplus before the change and then calculating the social surplus after the change. And then we got the delta of the social surplus by subtracting the two, which came out to $1,250.
For question two, we were presented with a country's oil market where they import 3 billion barrels of oil and domestically produce 3 billion barrels of oil. For the first part of the question, we were given a situation where there's a $30 per barrel import fee put onto the oil, and we were asked to first determine the quantity consumed, quantity produced domestically, and the quantity imported. We were able to find the quantity consumed by using the price elasticity of domestic demand, and we found it to be 5.8 billion. We were able to find the change in quantity produced by using the price elasticity of domestic supply, which we found to end up being 3.25 billion. And the quantity imported we found by subtracting the total amount consumed by the amount produced domestically to be 2.5 billion, 2.55 billion. For the second part of part A of question 2, we were asked to find the domestic producer surplus and the domestic consumer surplus, and we found the consumer surplus to be negative, or to the change in consumer surplus to be negative 177 billion, with the change in producer surplus to be 93.75 billion, and the tax to be 76.25 billion, with net benefits coming out to be negative 7 billion per year.
All right. So for part B, we were asked to find if there's an estimated marginal excess tax burden of 0.25, where we had to re-estimate the social net benefits, assuming a 20% increase in producer surplus. So the change in consumer surplus stays the same, but then the producer's surplus decreases by the amount they're taxed, but then that amount gets added to the net gain to taxpayers, and then you multiply that net gain by the marginal excess burden of taxation, and then to get 23.75 billion, and then you add all of that up together to get the net benefits, which is 16.75 billion. And then for part C, the reduction in the country's demand for imports affects the real price, and so an import fee reduces the real price from 90 to 80 per barrel. So we recalculated, and so the change in quantity consumed in the country is negative 0.133 billion, and the change in quantity supplied domestically is 0.167 billion. And so now there are 5.867 billion barrels consumed, 3.167 barrels produced domestically, and 2.7 billion barrels imported. So the change in consumer surplus is now 118.68 billion. The change in producer surplus is 61.67 billion. The net taxpayer gain is 80.75 billion. Net benefits, then adding that all together, is 23.74 billion per year. And so after the tax mentioned in part B, the producer surplus is then 49.336 billion. Tax revenue goes, or like the net taxpayer gain goes up to 93.08 billion. The marginal excess tax burden is 23.27 billion, and the net benefits then come out to 47.006 billion per year.